At the moment, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is meeting with his Qatari counterpart, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani. We're hoping to give you some live pictures of that, see how that meeting is going on. Reminder that Russia is calling for things to calm down there. Let's get some thoughts now on what's happening in the Gulf, where it's going to go with Sreeram Chaulia, Professor the Dean. He's a dean at the Jindal School of International Affairs. Let's get that right, sir. Hiya. Yeah, where is this going to go? Thanks for being live with us. We're hearing Turkey and Iran taking sides with Qatar here. Initially, of course, we had President Trump saying that he was going to mediate, but now he's come out with these strong words. So where's it going to go, and why are Turkey and Iran siding with Qatar?
Kevin, I see kind of a realignment and a readjustment of the geopolitics of the Middle East as a result of what the German Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel calls dangerous Trumpization of regional problems. President Trump has given Saudi Arabia and the UAE free rein to attack Qatar and to isolate it and to impose a very harsh embargo on it, which has led Qatar to look for new friends as a kind of a counterbalancing move. Remember, President Trump has done this in Europe as well. He has annoyed the main NATO ally Germany by calling it very, very bad on trade. He has also annoyed South Korea, which is a treaty ally of the United States, by saying that they have to pay for the terminal high altitude area defense anti-missile system. So in all these cases, what we see is that the Americans are so ham-handed right now in maintaining their key alliances that some of these miffed alliance partners are now looking for alternatives, and therefore I'm not surprised the government of Qatar has turned to Iran, Turkey and Russia to show and to send a message to Washington and to the Saudis that they cannot be isolated, that they also have their options.
Donald Trump, though, surely needs Qatar. Well, it seems he doesn't at the moment because he's changed his tune of late. There's a huge communications base there, an air base, a naval base that serves a lot of the countries in the Middle East, as we've been saying, and Doha's been a huge customer for American arms and weapons in the past. So why all of a sudden is America taking this hard line?
Well, it shows a complete breakdown of coherent strategy in Washington, because Rex W. Tillerson and Jim Mattis are singing the old tune that we need Qatar and we need to, tone down this internal battle among the Arab Persian Gulf states, and that we need to restore normalcy. But then Trump has gone on the rampage, sending out these mixed messages, which are now so typical of the Trump administration, because he is completely bought into who he calls my friend King Salman, who is the king of Saudi Arabia. And I think he is basically bought onto the idea that Qatar is somehow sponsoring extremists, while he ignores conveniently the fact that so does Saudi Arabia. So I think he has taken a very partisan stance, a stance that lacks in grand strategy, because he doesn't realize the importance, the strategic importance of Qatar, as you rightly said.
We'll carry on with our chat. Don't go away, but we just want to overlay some pictures while we're continuing our chat there of what's happening in the centre of Moscow right now. There's a high-level meeting going on. You can see Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister, talking with his Qatari counterpart, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani. They're going to be holding talks all afternoon. It's expected that the situation, obviously, on the Arabian Peninsula is going to dominate discussions as well. I want to come back to you, though. The other issue here, of course, if there's a lot of squabbling, and this kicks off even more on the Arabian Peninsula. What about the future for the OPEC oil cartel? It was back in 2008 we had Russia, Iran and Qatar discussing their own gas cartel. What about the future of OPEC and the oil?
Well, they have always been divided. The Arabs have been their worst enemies. They often pour scorn on Iran and on Israel, but when you look at it, the Palestinians can say how often the Arab states have betrayed their own so-called Arab brethren. So this is what we are seeing. It's a fratricidal war among the Gulf Cooperation Council members. Oman is staying out of it. Kuwait is trying to be somewhere in the middle, but Bahrain, UAE and Saudi are ranged against Qatar, and it also is going to weaken their bargaining position and their ability to come to unanimity in OPEC OPEC. I think Qatar has been a thorn for Saudi because it has often resisted Saudi hegemony in the region, and that is the real reason behind this split. It's got nothing to do with Iran or terrorism, because frankly many of the Gulf Arab countries do have links with Iran, and they also have been involved in extremist organizations. So really, I think it's an unraveling of the Arab security system that we are seeing in front of our eyes, and being midwifed by Donald Trump, who doesn't know who are his real allies and who is going berserk in all directions based on impressionistic and judgmental ways.
A final 10-second answer, if you can. Could this end up in some sort of conflict on the Gulf, or would you say it's not going to be allowed to get that far?
Well, it is going to impact on the wars in Yemen, in Syria for sure, and it is going to intensify the Saudi-Iran rivalry, because now Qatar is also going to play it both ways.
All right, thanks for your thoughts, Sreeram Chaulia, Professor and Dean at the Jindal School of International Affairs. Thanks for coming on at short notice. Nice to see you.